The Queen Bee, Part 1. Once upon a time, there was a king who had 3 sons. The 2 older sons were handsome lads, but they were selfish, proud, and cruel. They made fun of the youngest son. They said he was not smart. They called him a dimwit. When the older sons were grown up, they set off on a trip. Alas, they soon fell into a wild and reckless way of living. It was not long until they had used up all their money and had no way to get home. The youngest son had stayed at home. Now he set out to find his brothers. Find them he did, but his brothers were cruel to him. When he said he wished to join them on their travels, they jeered at him and made fun of him.
Why would we take you with us?
Asked the oldest brother.
What could a baby like you do for us, who are so much older than you?
Why would we take you with us?
Asked the second brother.
What could a dimwit like you do for us, who are so much smarter than you?
The youngest brother answered,
I will do what I can.
The next day, the 2 older brothers set off. The youngest brother followed few steps behind them. They walked until they came up on a large anthill.
Let's get some sticks,
said the oldest brother.
We can use them to destroy that anthill.
Yes,
said the second brother.
It will be a good sport for us to watch the ants running here and there, trying to save their eggs.
The older brothers plucked branches from a tree, but the youngest brother would not allow them to destroy the anthill.
Leave the ants in peace,
he said.
I will not let you harm them.
So the 3 brothers walked on. They went on until they came into a lake where 2 ducks were swimming.
Let us catch those ducks and roast them,
said the oldest brother.
Yes,
said the second brother.
They will make a tasty snack.
The youngest brother would not allow his brothers to kill the ducks.
Let the ducks be,
he said.
I will not let you harm them.
Chính hoàn thành tốt, tin học chín hoàn thành tốt, đạo đức tốt, âm nhạc tốt, mỹ thuật tốt, thủ tốt.
So the 3 brothers walked on. They went on until they came up upon a beehive in an old hollow tree. The beehive was full of honey. It was so full that the honey trickled down the trunk of the tree.
Let us make a fire and smoke out the bees,
said the older brother.
Yes,
said the second brother.
Once we have smoked them out, we will eat up their honey.
But the youngest brother would not allow his brothers to build a fire.
Leave the bees alone. I will not let you harm them.
So the 3 brothers walked on until they came into an enchanted palace. A witch had cast a spell on the palace. She had transformed every living thing into a statue. The stables were filled with stone horses. The rooms were filled with stone men. The brothers made their way into the palace. They peeked into a few rooms. For a long time, they saw nothing but men and ladies of stone. At last, they came into a room with 3 locks and a small window. The brothers peeped in the window. They saw a little old man sitting at a table. They spoke to the man. The man did not respond. The brothers spoke to the man a second time. Still, he did not respond. They called one last time. This time, the man seemed to hear them. He did not speak, but he stood up and walked over them. His face was gray and stony like a statue. Without speaking, the old man unlocked the 3 locks and led the brothers to a table. The table was loaded with good things to eat. The old man motioned for the brothers to sit and eat. When they had eaten, he showed each of them to a bed of chamber. The brothers soon fell asleep. The brothers slept soundly. The next morning, the man came and woke up the oldest brother. Without saying a word, he led him into a table. On the table were 3 stone tablets. The tablets listed 3 tasks that would have to be performed to break the spell. The old man pointed at the table on the left. It said, "The Queen Bee Part 2. The oldest brother set out to find the rubies. He found a mossy patch in the forest and began digging. He found a few of the rubies, but when the sun set, he had only 100 of the 1,000 rubies. So he was transformed into a statue. The next morning, the old man woke up the second brother and showed him the tablet. The second brother went to look for the rubies, but he fared a little better than his brother. He found only 200 rubies, and he too was transformed into a statue. The next morning, the old man woke up the youngest brother and showed him the tablets. The youngest brother went to look for the rubies. He began to dig around under the moss. He found some rubies, but he soon saw that he would never be able to find all 1,000 of them. They were just too small. He sat down and began to weep. He sat crying. He saw something small crawling on the ground near his feet. It was the Ant King, and there were 5,000 ants marching behind him.
"You were kind to us,"
said the Ant King.
"You saved our ant hill when your brothers wanted to destroy it. Since you were kind to us, we wish to help you."
So the 5,000 ants marched under the moss and began dragging out the rubies, one by one. The ants found the rubies, all 1,000 of them, and stacked them up in a neat pile. The youngest brother thanked the ants. Then he took the rubies back to the palace and handed them to the old man. The old man took the rubies. Then he pointed at the tablet in the middle of the table. The tablet said, "At the bottom of the lake lies a key to the bedroom." The youngest brother went and stared at the lake. He could not swim. He waded into the water. He went in until the water was up to his chin. He felt around with his feet. Still, he could not find the key. The youngest brother was about to give up when 2 ducks swam up. They were the 2 ducks he had saved on the way to the palace.
You were kind to us.
Said one of the ducks.
You saved us when your brothers want to roast us for dinner. Since you were kind to us, we wish to help you.
Then the ducks began diving to the bottom of the lake. They bobbed up and down. After a few minutes, one of the ducks came up with a key in its mouth. The youngest brother thanked the duck. Then he went back to the palace. He tried to hand the key to the old man, but the old man would not take it. The old man pointed at the table on the right side of the tablet on the right side of the table. It said,
"The key that you have found will unlock a bedroom in the palace. In the bedroom, 3 princesses lie fast asleep. 2 of them ate candy after dinner. 1 of them ate honey. You must pick the one who ate honey. But beware, if you pick the wrong princess, you will be transformed into a statue.
The youngest brother took the key and used it to open the bedroom. He saw the 3 sleeping princesses. All 3 were beautiful, and none of them had been transformed into a statue. The youngest brother could hear them breathing as they slept. Which one had eaten honey after dinner? The youngest brother knelt by each princess and sniffed. But it was no use. One smelled as sweet as the next one. There was no way to tell which one had eaten honey and which one had eaten candy. The youngest brother was trying to make up his mind. A bee appeared. It was the queen of the hive he had saved.
You were kind to us,
said the queen bee.
You saved us when your brothers wanted to smoke us out. Since you were kind to us, I wish to help you.
The queen bee buzzed from one sleeping princess to the next until she came to the one who had eaten honey.
This is the one,
she said. The youngest brother thanked the queen bee. As the bee fluttered away, the 3 sleeping princesses awoke. At the same time, all of the men and ladies who had been transformed into a statue came back to life. The 2 older brothers came back to life as well. The spell had been broken. The youngest brother married the youngest, sweetest of the 3 princesses, the one who had eaten the honey. His older brothers married to the other 2 princesses, the one who had eaten the candy. When the old king died, the youngest brother and his princess were crowned king and queen of the land. The 2 of them lived happily ever after. The end.